friends! Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share some stories from a recent travel to South America, to Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. We were also able to visit the beautiful Iguazu Falls. Please stay till the end and let me know if you like my video. The first stop was Rio de Janeiro, the capital of Brazil, and it is the second most populous city. Founded in 1565 by the Portuguese, a domain of the Portuguese Empire was composed of the overseas colonies, factories, and later overseas territories governed by Portugal. It was one of the longest-lived colony empires in European history, lasting almost 6 centuries. Eventually, Brazil became the most valuable colony of the second era of empire until 1825. The rowdy Copacabana is one of the most traditional and old areas of Rio de Janeiro. The Copacabana Promenade is a pavement landscape in large scale 4 kilometers long. It has a geometric wave in black and white. This neighborhood has a bit of everything, from bars and music, street fairs, and many shops. On the Copacabana beach, there are many hotels and restaurants, nightclubs, and residential buildings. On Sundays and holidays, one side of Avenida Atlântica is closed to cars, giving residents and tourists more space for activities along the beach. The fireworks display in Rio de Janeiro to celebrate New Year's Eve is one of the largest in the world, lasting 15 to 20 minutes. New Year's Eve has been celebrated on Copacabana Beach since 1950. It is estimated that 2 million people go to Copacabana Beach to see the spectacle. Christ the Redeemer is the largest Art Deco statue in the world, and it is one of the 7 wonders of the world. In order to get to the statue, you have to take a train. You can buy the tickets right at the train station and wait your turn because all the entry tickets are timed. The statue was created by French-Polish sculptor Paul Landowski. It was constructed between 1922 and 1931. It is 30 meters high, and it is made of reinforced concrete and soapstone. The statue weighs 635 metric tons, and it is located at the peak of the 700-meter or 2,300 feet Corcovado Mountain, overlooking the city of Rio de Janeiro. The statue of Christ the Redeemer is the largest one in the world, symbolizing Christianity. If it is not a cloudy day, the best view of the city is from this mountain. You can even reserve a helicopter tour to get the best view from above. The carnival in Rio de Janeiro is the biggest carnival in the world. They have a special designated location for the parade, with 2 million people per day on the streets. The first carnival occurred in 1723. A typical Rio carnival parade is filled with floats and dancers from numerous samba schools. It is a competition. There is a special order that every school has to follow with their parade entry. The winner gets a multi-million-dollar reward. Situated at the Lapa neighborhood is a set of world-famous steps in Rio de Janeiro. In 1990, Chilean-born artist George Celeron began renovating steps that ran along the front of his house. At first, neighbors mocked him for his choice of colors, as he covered the steps in fragments of blue, green, and yellow tiles, the colors of the Brazilian flag. It started out as a side project on his main passion, painting, but soon became an obsession. Brazilian steakhouses are popular around the world. for their all-you-can-eat meats and buffet-style dining. The Portuguese word churrasco means barbecue in English. Churrasco refers to a specific method of Brazilian grilling, in which beef is barbecued in a long skewer and served by cutting off individual slices. The second most popular attraction in Rio is the Sugarloaf Mountain. Its Portuguese name, Pau de Açúcar, derives from its unusual shape, which is similar to a classic type of refined sugar used in the 19th century. It is a large, circular-topped granite cone that rises to a height of around 396 meters, or 1,299 feet. It offers spectacular views from the top of the mountain, where you can reach through a cable car. Sugarloaf Mountain is known as the tourist jewel of Rio de Janeiro. The mountain is said to be a historical landmark because the installation of the tramway in 1912 made it very popular in the whole world. Not only this, the cable car system in the mountain was launched for the first time in Brazil and third in the world. There are many variations associated with the origin of the name of the Sugarloaf Mountain. According to history, during the 16th and 17th century, there was a peak of sugarcane cycle in Brazil. Sugar was transported to various parts in Europe. During the process, lumps of boiled and reduced sugarcane juice were filled in cone-shaped molds, known as sugar loaves, which resembles this famous mountain. A glass-walled cable car, capable of holding 65 people, is the main highlight of the Sugarloaf Mountain. You will love the breathtaking views. People from all over the world visit this beautiful place every year, and it continues to be one of the most explored places in Brazil. From here, there is a view of Atlantic Ocean and Copacabana Beach, while on the other side, Guanabara Bay is the second largest bay in Brazil, and it's stretching in front of this popular mountain. Guanabara consists of more than 130 islands and also comprises of gorgeous scenery, which you can see as you visit Sugarloaf Mountain, and can even get a ride on the helicopter. While visiting Sugarloaf Mountain, we were surprised by the monkeys that were roaming around. Iguazu Falls are located on Iguazu River, and it is also on the border with Argentina and Brazil. This is the largest waterfall system in the world, and it consists of approximately 257 individual falls over 2.7 kilometers. Iguazu Falls is one of the new natural seven wonders of the world. To get to Iguazu Falls, you can fly from Buenos Aires or Rio de Janeiro for 2 hours on the local airlines. You can visit waterfalls from both sides, either Argentinian side or Brazilian side, but Brazilian side is much better. The videos that I'm showing you of Iguazu Falls are from the Brazilian side. Nearby there is a small Argentinian town, Puerto Iguazu. I made a short video about this town and the hotel we were staying at. It's worth visiting if you're here for a couple of days. Check the link to the video in the description below. The most impressive of all the falls is a U-shaped cliff, nicknamed the Devil's Throat, which has 14 falls plunging more than 260 feet or 18 meters. Around half of the water flow from the Iguazu River spills into the Devil's Throat. The Devil's Throat is an incredible 260-degree waterfall, and it makes a thunderous noise. You can hear the loud roar of the Devil's Throat from miles away. Iguazu Falls are taller and twice as wide as Niagara Falls. However, Niagara Falls has a greater flow rate than Iguazu Falls. Iguazu National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Amethyst mines, called the Wanda mines, are located less than 40 miles or 60 kilometers from Puerto Iguazu in the rainforest along the Paraná River, and they are home to some of the best agate, amethyst, quartz, and topaz found in Argentina. Colonia Wanda was settled by Polish immigrants in 1936. The town and its mines are named after the 8th century Polish princess. The Poles were later joined by German, Swiss, Brazilian, and Paraguay immigrants who plant tobacco, citrus fruits, and crops in this area. A local man discovered the precious stone deposits while washing his clothes in a stream, but it wasn't until years later that his son explored further and registered the mines. The mining here also provides employment to local artisans from the gemstone extraction, processing, and sale of the stones. After the tour, you can check out the gift shop, where visitors can purchase polished and natural stones, wind chimes, and jewelry with precious and semi-precious stones. When most people think of Argentina, they think of tango. Tango is one of the most well-known types of dances in the world, and Argentina is famously the home to tango. Tango was first used as a term to describe music and dancing in the late 18th century in Buenos Aires. Tango was the name for the music of the slaves at the time in Argentina, more specifically the name of large gatherings in which slaves danced to music. Tangos were quickly banned, but the word did not go away and actually grew in prominence over the next 100 years. Tango features an eclectic mix of cultures and customs, and it is a result of Argentina's unique diversity. The true Argentina was the country with both black and white people who originated the tango. Buenos Aires is classified as an Alpha Global City, one of the largest cities in Latin America, and it dominates Argentina's economy. Buenos Aires has also been called the Paris of South America. Beneath the neoclassical architecture, artful pastries, and sprawling green spaces is the bleeding heart of the city, a city where the soccer games are to be wept over, the quick moves of tango never miss a beat, and the sounds of sizzling asado and flowing Malbec wine carry late into the night. Buenos Aires is known for its preserved eclectic European architecture and rich cultural life. It is a multicultural city that is home to multiple ethnic and religious groups, contributed to its culture as well as to the dialects spoken in the city and in some other parts of the country. This is because since the 19th century, the city and the country in general has been a major recipient of millions of immigrants from all over the world, making it a melting pot where several ethnic groups live together. In front of you is the Gomero. It is a huge rubber tree planted in the late 18th century, so it is over 200 years old. It has a spread of 50 meters and a height of 20 meters. At some places, the branches have to be supported by poles, and in one place they even installed a statue to hold a branch. Buenos Aires has the most bookshops per capita in the world. According to the World Cities Culture Forum, this city has the highest number of bookshops per person in the world. In Buenos Aires, there is 2.8 million people, and it has 734 bookstores, or 25 for every 100,000 people. Avenida 9 de Julio, 9th July Avenue, is the widest avenue in the world. Its name honors the date Argentina gained independence from Spain in 1816. The avenue stretches 140 meters, or 459 feet wide and cuts through the city from north to south. It measures around 1.9 miles, 3 kilometers long. Plaza de Mayo is the oldest public square in Buenos Aires and has been the scene of many of the most important events in the city's history, from the second founding of the city in 1580 through the Revolution of Independence to more recent political demonstrations. Here at the square, you can also find the Pink House with the Presidential Palace. This is an iconic building where Juan Perón, accompanied by his wife, Eva, addressed the crowd. Here in Plaza de Mayo is the Buenos Aires Metropolitan Cathedral. It is the main Catholic church in Buenos Aires. Pope Francis was the Archbishop of Buenos Aires for 15 years. He used to hold Mass at this cathedral before moving to the Vatican in 2013. The cathedral houses the Pope Francis Museum, which holds some of his personal items. The cathedral is also a National Historical Site that contains the mausoleum of General José de San Martin, Argentina's most famous hero, who led the country to independence in 1816. San Telmo is one of the city's oldest neighborhoods. It still maintains much of its original architecture, with historic mansions, cobbled streets, and patios with fountains. The city's biggest antique fair takes place here on Sundays. No city has a bigger passion for football or soccer than Buenos Aires. It is evident in the love people show for their teams. And in fact, Buenos Aires has more soccer stadiums than any other city in the world. Many of you know Diego Maradona, who was born outside Buenos Aires but passed away in November of 2020. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. And this most famous La Bombonera Stadium, home to Boca Juniors, the team that made Maradona a star in the 1980s. In Buenos Aires, football is more than a sport. It's probably the city with the most improvised pitches for amateur games too, and international sensations like not only Maradona, but also Leo Messi. Messi was named the world's best player for a record 8 times by FIFA. Being a player on Argentina national team, he also won the 2021 Copa America and the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Buenos Aires has one of the highest concentration of football teams of any city in the world, featuring at least 18 professional football teams. In this neighborhood, not far from the stadium, is also the area called La Boca. This neighborhood became a melting pot of different cultures during the 20th century, when millions of immigrants from Europe and Asia arrived to Argentina. Many of its settlers originated from the Italian region of Liguria. This neighborhood became a cornerstone and an important site during the early development of the tango. La Boca is a popular destination for tourists visiting Argentina, with its colorful houses and pedestrian street, the Caminito, where tango dancers perform. You can buy souvenirs or get something to eat. In the very center of the city, there is a national historic monument, the Obelisco de Buenos Aires, and it is the icon of the city. The obelisk was erected in 1936 during the first foundation of the city. Argentina is famous for its world-class Malbec wine and, of course, the Argentine barbecue. Argentine people have a reputation for their love of eating. Beef is a main part of the Argentine diet due to its vast production in the country's plains. In fact, Argentine annual consumption of beef has averaged 100 kilos or 220 pounds per capita. Social gatherings are commonly centered on sharing a meal. Sunday family lunch is considered the most significant meal of the week. Another feature of Argentine cuisine is the preparation of homemade food, such as French fries, patties, and pasta, to celebrate a special occasion, to meet friends, or to honor someone. Argentine restaurants have a great variety of cuisines and offers a wide range of dishes at affordable prices. Argentina was the second country in the world with the most immigrants, with 6.6 million, only second to the United States. The immigration wave significantly influenced the cuisine in Argentina and led to the variation of different dishes. People in Argentina and several neighboring countries also drink mate throughout the day, the most popular caffeinated beverage, well above coffee and tea. This beverage can be found in more than 90% of the households, and in the last couple of years, it has even crossed international borders and reached people from several countries in North America, Europe, and Asia, gaining popularity all over the world. Forget about the big avenue, that fancy theater, or the pink government palace. The most visited attraction in Buenos Aires is actually a graveyard. Founded in 1822, Recoleta Cemetery is like a city, featuring large square blocks with tree-lined avenues that span a total of 14 acres and include some 5,000 different mausoleums. The spectacular cemetery houses some of the country's most beloved icons, including presidents, Nobel Prize winners, military commanders, and the much idolized Eva Perón. Beloved First Lady of Argentina was very much involved in politics and social cause. Even to this day, people bring fresh flowers to her grave, and her grave is the most visited at the cemetery of Recoleta. Many tourists who visit her grave know very little about her or the history, but many people saw the musical with Madonna in the role of Evita. Eva Perón's ultimate power and influence earned her both admiration and hatred. There are a few other interesting facts about Argentina. Buenos Aires is one of few major cities with a neighborhood where most streets are named after women. In Argentina, public hospitals are free for everyone, also for illegal immigrants or tourists. Buenos Aires is home to Latin America's oldest underground network. There are 90 metro stations in Buenos Aires, many of which display artworks. Buenos Aires has a port on Rio de la Plata River. It is the widest river in the world, of 220 kilometers or 140 miles, and it forms a border between Argentina and Uruguay. If you like to see Uruguay for one day, you can take a boat ride for 1 hour and cross the river into Uruguay. Colonia in Uruguay is just a short ferry ride from Buenos Aires. It is a convenient day trip from Argentina's capital. You can take a fast ferry that delivers you to Uruguay by mid-morning, and you will have all day to explore Colonia's sights and cobbled street before boarding a return crossing in the afternoon. While some travelers might think going through customs would be a hassle to spend just a day in Colonia, it is actually a quite convenient process. Just remember to bring your passport. After departure from Buenos Aires, it's just a 15-minute ride to Colonia. Colonia del Sacramento is its full name, is one of the oldest towns in Uruguay and the capital of the Colonia department. It has a population of around 27,000. Its historic quarter is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Modern Colonia del Sacramento produces textiles and has a free trade zone. Colonia has an interesting history. The city was founded in 1860 by the Portuguese, but the colony changed hands between the two colonial powers of Portugal and Spain an incredible 7 times, until finally in 1809 the city of Colonia de Sacramento became part of Uruguay. The city's well-preserved landscape pays tribute to both the Portuguese with its style of houses, and Spanish with its ample cobblestone streets. The popular historic quarter has become a major tourist attraction, especially for visitors arriving from Buenos Aires, with a frequent ferry service across the river Rio de la Plata between the two cities. The historical city gate, with its stone pillars and wooden bridge, leads to the city's center. Beyond the gate, the main plaza is a great place to relax, and it is surrounded by the historic buildings which constitute most of the remaining tourist attractions of Colonia. There are unique art and craft shops, museums, great restaurants, and a large harbor. The iconic lighthouse, El Faro, was constructed in 1857. From the ruins of the convent of San Francisco, where travelers can now walk to the top and see the entire city along with the Rio de la Plata. The city can be easily walked in a single day, with travelers often departing in the late afternoon. Not far from the lighthouse, you can find the beautiful street with the colonial cobblestone and the views of the sea. This humble Catholic church, the Basilica of the Holy Sacrament, has a small museum and is surrounded by historic houses in this area. The Catholic Church still operates to this day, and they just finished the Mass. There are a lot of outdoor cafes and restaurants, and it has the European feel to it. We also had lunch in one of the local cafes. Most stores in Colonia accept a variety of currencies: the local Uruguay peso, the Argentine peso, and the US dollar. The exchange rate is usually not very good. If you exchange to US dollars there, it's better to pay with a credit card and then let the bank use the most current exchange rate that is usually beneficial to you. But even if you're using the credit card, we noticed that the prices for souvenirs were pretty high in comparison to other cities like Buenos Aires and Rio de Janeiro, where we bought souvenirs as well. You can even rent out bicycles, scooters, or golf carts for those interested in riding around the city or exploring the beautiful countryside. In the summer months between December to March, when high temperatures are matched with high humidity, people can cool off in the waters of Rio de la Plata, lounge in the soft sandy beaches, and enjoy a wide variety of water sports. Thank you for watching till the end. I really appreciate your support, so please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments below.